Welcome to Greenhithe Station here in Kent. There's a Thameslink train over there, but that's not what we're here to do. We are here to ride the entire Fastrack bus system. Let's see how it goes. And there goes the Thameslink trains going all the way up to Luton. So I've actually heard of these buses a while ago. I have ridden them before. They have some really cool electric buses that we might also be able to catch, but I don't think anybody has ever thought of doing what I'm doing today, which is basically the tube challenge, you know, all the challenges that I do, but visiting every Fastrack bus stop. This is gonna be really silly. And that right there is the first bus of the run. It's coming in. It's gonna turn around and come to this stop, I hope. I've read the signs right, but yeah. All right, so I've not started my timer yet because I am actually going to come back to this stop later. I will start it at the next stop. You can see the map over there. I'll put a higher quality one on screen. But yeah, we're gonna ride the entire Fastrack network.
The Dartford Fastrack network first began operation in 2006 and today has 6 routes, all of which are operated by Go Ahead London. There are 4 that run throughout daytime, 1 that runs at peak hours only, and 1 that runs overnight.
Okay, just for like adjudicating purposes, yes, I am the Transit Runs founder, but I am still going to make my own runs judged properly. Just so this kind of gives you an idea of where I am. So it probably wasn't clear at the first stop. All right, we are now in a busway. There's a few of these that we'll encounter. Well, a bus and cycle way, but no cars. This is the Amazon LCY3 campus. It's a major hub for the bus network. So that's an XTFL bus. Good to know.
Route A has a lot of busways and even in some cases bus gates that try to prevent cars from passing through, but doesn't stop people from trying, though they will get duly punished for it. There's a lot of developments here on Route A that are very integrated with this busway here, and that's partly because Fastrack was planned as part of an urban regeneration project here in Kent. The service only runs every 15 minutes on this route, which I don't think is exactly great. It could be a tiny bit better, but again, Dartford is not exactly a very high-density town, is it?
Okay, I think this is actually the end of the line. I couldn't tell though, but everyone's getting out. There we go, 23 minutes. Now I need to get to line B. Now, completely unbeknownst to me, it seems like there's a lot of bus fans out here today. It seems like some heritage buses or non-standard buses at least are being run on the Fastrack network. So that's cool. Okay, I think I've totally messed up. This is actually not the end of line B. There are a few more stops further that I need to go and get, so I'm waiting on the wrong side. I must have missed one that came already. Yeah, the first ever Fastrack speedrun is not optimal. Come out to Kent and beat my record. You know you want to. That's not my bus, but it is a cool bus. And the 96 appears to be bunched up. That's not good. I've chosen the absolute worst day to do this. Everything seems to be bunched up and delayed. I don't know if it's because of the legacy buses running or what, but I've been here for like 20 minutes. All right, here it is. If we'll be able to even get on it. This has to be the world's most useless bus lane. It all merges back onto the traffic. It takes like 5 minutes for buses to clear here. And now this one's gonna try and swerve out. Good luck. And now another one. And then yet another 96 is bad there. This is chaos.
We're passing through Temple Hill now, a very low-density, single-family dominant suburb, and you don't see any BRT-like infrastructure here.
Well, there it goes. It's not in service. This is not ideal. Here's a time check. I don't even know if this run's going to be completed, I'll be honest. But yeah, we're at Sharp Way. I don't know when the next bus is going to come. I really hope I can complete this run though. But that driver seemed to be on the phone with a dispatcher or something. Seems like Dartford is quite a mess right now. Well, I just was there 10 minutes ago and I saw the mess, but okay, there's another bus. That wasn't too bad.
So here's a look at the IE tram, which is not a tram, it's a bus. But I still think it's pretty cool. The seats are much more comfortable than anything you will find on a regular local bus. Every seat has access to charging ports, and even some wireless chargers on the seat backs. There's a couple tables, which I definitely wasn't expecting to see. And above you is digital wayfinding, and below you is a carpet. Makes it feel very premium. Now, I did mention BRT a while ago, and it's a fair question to ask. Would I consider Fastrack a bus rapid transit system? Probably not, but I don't think they excessively brand themselves as one, so I don't think it's that bad. Now, there are some parts of the network that do give you a BRT vibe, but in general, there's probably still some work to do once you get closer into the city centers. In the past, I used to shy away from these discussions because sometimes transit terminology can bog us down and we can get too hung up into standards. But I do think a little bit of understanding helps in terms of saying, oh, I want to build a BRT system, what should I include? But as my first BRT-like system I've experienced outside of the US, I think the difference is really in the branding. A lot of American BRTs will go out of their way to make them seem like something grand, and you'll often see them in much bigger cities. But here, as a sort of local transit solution for a fairly low density town, and one that links nicely into multiple different rail stations, I think it works for what it is. Speaking of rail stations, we're pulling into Ebbsfleet International now, which, unlike Stratford International, did at one point have international trains. Eurostar trains would stop here a few times a day before COVID, but ever since they've not returned. Before long, we'll arrive in Gravesend, which is the other major town here alongside Dartford, and it too has a station served by Thameslink and Southeastern trains.
Alright, we've made it to Gravesend. Unfortunately, the E only runs every half an hour. I didn't even realize that. I would have started here. I knew that. But, yeah, now I gotta figure out how long until it goes. And here we observe it charging. Check that out. That's how the chargers work.
Since I had 20 minutes to kill here in Gravesend, I walked down the high street and got some Greggs. Okay, yeah, service E being only every half an hour, and that's apparently on weekdays as well, was really disappointing. You can't call yourself a BRT network when you have a service that infrequent. Though I hear the Fastrack line that's over in Dover, which opened a couple years ago, only runs hourly on Sundays and every 20 minutes on other days, which is quite appalling, honestly. You spent a lot of money on it apparently as well. I don't know, I've not been to Dover. Here on Route E, there is definitely still a lot of development under construction and not fully open yet, and maybe that is the philosophy here. Build the transit first and then the housing projects, which again I can sympathize with. You know, all those city planning games I played way back when would be like, all good cities start with the roads. Now, I did say I was calling this a speedrun because it technically is, even though I didn't necessarily plan for an optimal route. But as we pull into Blue Water, I do have a tight 1-minute connection to our final bit of the network, which is line F, so I do have to run a little bit. Blue Water is probably the single most important station on the entire Fastrack network, as it serves a large shopping center and an M&S. There's even some TfL buses here, even though we're outside of London, mainly Route 96. But getting in and out of Blue Water is quite painful, as there is no bus infrastructure at all. You're forced to sit in with all the car traffic, and again, you can't call yourself a BRT system when you have things like that at your busiest areas. Anyway, Route F is a little bit weird. It uses buses that feel very American, and it goes to quite an American-looking development, namely Ingress Park. But this is actually the most frequent Fastrack service, running every 12 minutes. I guess a part of that is because it's so short, but still. I didn't see a single person on my bus towards the end of the line, whether to get off my bus or on the next one. But of course, now I have ridden the entire Fastrack network and it's taken me 3 hours and 7 minutes to do so. It's definitely possible in under 3 hours if you would like to beat this record. But that's it for this video, and I will see you next time.